Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chicago Bears. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check. Watch it before. Watch the run.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Foles. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Bears take over. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Room here to run. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they will score. A pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Good job. Good job.
And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now McManus for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick 6 last time out. Now a play fake here on first down. Leonard Floyd, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
They're running it.
On second down, here's Fournette. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And it's taken in at the 9. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
They'll start things on first with Tariq Cohen. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
You draw perfect. Shit. Ran, top.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. 2nd from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 19 carries, 74 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as the Bears push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all of these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Fournette on the counter. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he got...
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. 21-0 our score after 1. On 1st down, Trubisky gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is taken in at the 5. 36 yards on the play.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game? I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
180. 44. Y'all not ready. 44.
On 3rd and goal, Trubisky. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Foles. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On the run, it's Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Quincy Wilson in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll toss it to Fournette. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
18. Watch screen. Watch twist. 6-6. Bullet high. Shoot. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike.
They'll run it now with Juszczyk. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
Watch the pass.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Mike's 50.
Stay, Haywood.
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Slam, slam, slam.
Ran, up.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery, his second touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. McManus now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back-to-back good plays. Have him on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. And he completes it to Westbrook, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
That's it, baby. We go
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've come to an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Montgomery, a first down and then some. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Check, check.
Alert, 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 alert. Hey, echo.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Going to throw deep for the end. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go play action with Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line.
Offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Motion out of the backfield. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run with Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. But a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
look to throw here. And Blake, the tight end's got it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This will be fielded at the 17. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the...
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
44, 44, Mike, 44. Come off the ball.
Hey, alert.
Hey, watch it. Check three.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal.
Football's a Mike.
Blue.
Here we go.
Alert.
Check. Sponge.
Hey, alert.
Now the fullback, Juszczyk. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. That will give to the big fullback, Juszczyk. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Don't get nervous.
Foles. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he fields it cleanly. 12 yards on the return that time.
Get ready. Get ready.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I got him.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Delta.
All day, baby. All day, baby. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
They go play action. Trubisky looking deep for Gabriel. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've...
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A huge play there for Chicago. 54 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Kyle Juszczyk, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still...
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Khalil Mack, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of our
she's
guys.
singing, too.
Oh, she's
on like the fifth tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dwayne Smoot, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Lock in.
Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. The Bears on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50. You don't want to... Alert. Hey, you don't want to...
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going, but it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get it done. Let's go.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on. Get it done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now Foles. And that is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Hey, box drop, box drop.
44 is the mic. 44.
Looking here, Trubisky wants to throw it. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Alert, alert. Hey, orbit.
Now it's Trubisky. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Let's go, D. That's what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another.